Hello, you guys. I feel like we're gonna totally get enlightened. No pressure on me, right? 3 ways to free yourself in your life. 3 ways. Look at this. Look at the sun. Oh, enlightened, enlighten, more light in our hearts, in our lives. Like, you guys, we can live our lives in such a rich and beautiful way. Such a rich and beautiful way. My name is Dr. Cheryl. I feel like just sitting here in the middle of the street. I am a psychologist for the last 20 plus years. And today I was working with someone and I just got like click, 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 all of these breakthroughs. It's such an honor. One, it's such an honor for you guys to be here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for all my new subscribers and followers and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to follow me, you guys. I was thinking just one time, YouTube pushed out one of my videos and they showed it to 300 people and I got 40 followers that week, right? And so don't be ashamed to be some of the first followers of this. There are definitely reasons. I can see reasons right now. There's my friends going off on the motorcycles. That it's not bigger, but don't worry about that. Let's get to the 3 reasons, 3 ways to free yourself, 3 ways to free yourself in your life right now. Because I want you to be free. And that's part of my job, and that's part of my calling, to set the captives free, set people free. Because who are we when we're in our addictions, when we're in our old patterns, when we're locked into and we keep doing stupid things that we wish we wouldn't do, that we don't want to be doing, like going back to toxic relationships, or keep letting people in that we ought not to let in, or please people, or and feel embarrassed and ashamed that we've been pleasing them, or begging people to love us and changing who we are to try to become who we think they want us to be. Anything like that. Anyway, we're not free. Or accepting a lesser paying job or lesser paying people because we don't know our real worth. All of those ways are ways that we're not free. Or not having a relationship with divine love, with if you want to call it God, or not feeling a closeness in that. That's a way we can be free too. So, all right, 3 ways. I wish I could put everything in this right now. I'll do my best to put everything that I can in this 15 minutes that we have. But it's like I'm in one of those moments where everything just became really clear and I just want to capture it, but you can't keep chasing after that, So let's just be present first. First and foremost, before we feed our mind all these ideas and all these important methods and stuff like that, is see yourself, know yourself as this divine essence, as we came from, the one we came from. Sometimes I use this cross if I'm wearing it to show we came from the oneness, and we came down here. Let's say this is a passage down, and we have ability to connect with the divine, and we have the ability to be grounded on this earth. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I welcome all religions. So, oh my gosh, I wanted to say something about the Buddha too, but just because, he took the 8-fold path of righteousness, of right wayness. He was trying to learn what righteousness was before Christ came. So, there's something in that. The word Buddha means awakened. I'm not saying everything is included in that, but look, this is like our horizontal relationship with everybody. All right, so just don't get offended by any of that stuff, please. I invite you to stay. Okay, so 3 ways to set yourself free. This is what I just wrote down on a little notepad that I had. Yield, 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 right? And so it's not those 3. The first one's going to be yield, though. I like the way this guy named David Lees put it, Lees. He teaches from the Taoism, and so we can learn all truth is God's truth, all all truths come from the true source. Someone said it like this, we're all seeing things from a many-sided diamond. We're seeing things from different ways. But he talks about, you have this inner child. His videos are called the Wu Wei Wisdom, and they don't even have, I mean, they ought to have millions of subscribers according to like the good medicine that I see that they're bringing to us. But anyway, it doesn't matter about the outside. Just let go of the outside. He teaches that we have an inner child, and it's his way of saying the same thing that I teach, that, you know, our egotism, letting your outer self, Jesus said it this way, you know, take up your cross every day and let that outer part of you die. And I've talked about it in other videos where I was saying the most important thing first, be present, know yourself as soul. The more you know yourself as this soul being that God created, the more you can observe your thoughts, the thoughts that are going on in your head, and know that you are not these thoughts. You are not these thoughts. You are the observer of them. And the more you experience yourself as that, the more you will have the freedom to do these 3 things that I'm going to teach you right now. 3 ways to set yourself free. And so David, he's a therapist in England, right? He says, you have this inner child. And so what happens is, from lack in childhood, from childhood trauma or whatever, this child can be entitled and can start thinking the whole world needs to start catering to you and start giving you what you were missing, and read your mind and give you all these things, right? And so this first way to free yourself is yield to something higher. There's something higher than your inner child. And in AA, you know, they say the first step is I came to believe that there's a power greater than me that can restore me to sanity. And so even if you understand that we had things happen to us when we were little, when we're this little child right here. So imagine you're little, and here's these big people that look like giants to us. And we get entrained and programmed to respond in a certain way. And we either, you know, fight, or we flight, we escape, and we go into addictions and fantasy and numbing ourselves. That's a way of flight. All of those are a way of flight. All of those, when those addictions and stuff are running our life, understand that those are a way of you trying to fight back in an ineffective way, or you're flying away from the problem in an ineffective way that looks effective in the immediate. Of course, when I get high, it takes me away. It's called a high for a reason. I said that in one of my other videos, or a bunch of them, because you get a quick high, but it's not long lasting. And so you keep teaching yourself by taking this quick high that you're not worth the real solution. You're teaching yourself by continuously acting, and don't beat yourself up. Just understand this, because you'll know the truth deep in here in your heart. You know, I have my heart necklace too. That's like drop down from your mind into your heart. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. The Old Testament says, seek wisdom like you're seeking for gold. Seek wisdom. That's applied knowledge. That's not just knowledge to get these videos and these ideas in your head. But, you know, I welcome you, and I'm so glad you found this, and it came to you for a reason, all right? I totally see that on a higher level today. I see that, because it's just like, wow, the people that are getting these truths right now, you know, I know how many people have poured these truths into my life, and I'll go to a mass or something and there's 3 people in there, but it's like the most wise teacher. It's just like Yoda is up there or something, and I'm just like, I can't believe only 3 people are taking time out of their day to be present, to hear this, to be part of this, to enter into this mystery. And you don't have to have my same religion. I want you to be free, all right? And so listen to this truth, understand that things happened to you when you were a child. And so what happens is we learn to either fight, flight, freeze. We just freeze and let people walk all over us, or we don't know what to do, or we feel like I can't cope, I'm not able to do this. Or we please. That's the other one they've added: fight, flight, freeze, or please, or fawn, you know. And so it's another way for saying please. We're trying to please people, right? And so when you yield and go, wait a second, let me have humility. Let me stop trying to run by this old familiar programming the only way I knew how. I kept yielding before to something lower, to something that says you're not worth the real solution. You're not worth facing this, you know. Fear, remember, fear is forget everything and run. That's when we go into our fear. Or face everything and rise. You have the capacity to rise. But in order to do that, the first step here to free yourself is to yield that there's a higher love, and you're called to that higher love. And when you yield to that higher love, you bring that higher love to yourself and to everybody. And you're just teaching this little child in you what that higher love is, instead of letting this little child that's full of fear, you know, fake everything or forget everything and run, you know, or F everything and run, you know. It's like you're worth more than that. Life is worth more than that. That you are still breathing means you are here for a reason, and you have purposes to do here. But if you're living in fear, you're not doing that. And so instead of living in fear, it takes trust, which is going to be the third one. But to yield takes trust. Okay, so yield to coming to understand that there's a higher love and a higher order, and you were always meant to have that. And I'm sorry that my parents and your parents didn't teach you that by their actions. You know, we learned by their actions, and they learned from other people, and they were acting within the consciousness they know. And we're not excusing them. We're just saying this is what is. So accept what is, and then you choose. Do you want this frightened inner child to run you, or do you want to be loving towards the inner child and go, hey, I am a soul. I am something more than just my mind. I'm going to stop trying to control all of this and control you, and I'm going to learn about higher wisdom and apply that to my life and be free, be free, be free. Know yourself on a deeper level. Know yourself as this presence, not as these thoughts. You're not these thoughts. Observe them so that they don't keep hooking you in, and you identify that I'm all these bad actions. No, I'm all these good actions. Well, I need to make money to make up for the bad actions. I need to make money to pay for more of my bad actions. I need to make money to please other people so that they'll like me, even though I have all. No, let go of your bad actions. You don't need them. Learn how to get out of them, right? And if you need professional help, go get that, because I'm not going to be everyone's psychologist. I can't be online, right? But I bring my knowledge that I have to you, and I freely give it to you, right? Okay, so the second one is habit. A habit. You can write this down, right? You write it in the comments if you want, or write it on your phone, or whatever you're watching this on, write it down. Habit is a choice set on default. And I got that from that David Lease guy too. David James Lease, I think that's his name. Wu Wei Wisdom is theirs. But anyway, you just made choices when you were a little child about the way the world works. Like there's one video I have, I want to link to that. It's called This Meditation Will Change Everything. And it's a meditation. It's not all weird or anything. It's just you're going back to your earliest childhood memory. And one of mine was, you know, we had just moved, and I was sitting there under like a cupboard in a new house as a little kid, and I just saw, and I was like, oh, I made these choices. Like, I have to do this alone, and I have to carry other people's sadness. And there were all these choices I made in that one moment, that one impression about how the way the world worked. And that's not the way the world worked. It's just how I was coping in that moment. And now I learned to let go of that choice. And so if I had that choice that I made when I was 3, I'm not going to beat myself up. Don't beat yourself up for choices you made when you were 3 or 4. I think I was 3 because my brother was just being born, my little brother. You know, and it's like, don't beat yourself up for that, but recognize my life was being led by that script. I didn't have to, but in order for my life to stop being sad, I wanted to get to that awareness. God gave me the ability I was at a Tony Robbins class, but this is an ancient method. This is like probably 4,000 or more years old, right? To know thyself on a deeper level, right? And so when you know that you made that choice, and it formed habits in my life where I kept seeing everything as this sad thing, and I had to do it alone, and I wouldn't ask for help, and I'd always get rejected by people if I asked for help because I asked the wrong people because I expected it not to happen. All right, we're going to wrap this up, but trust. The last one is trust. All my videos talk about this, so you can watch that video and learn a lot deeper on this. Like, I have a whole year-long class on this, so I knew that it wasn't always going to be here. But the last one is trust. I was just learning about some people don't see truth because they have spiritual blindness. You have spiritual blindness because you don't have faith and trust that there is something higher, there's something better. I'm not making this up right now. I'm not just going, you can be happy. I'm not one for fake happy at all. But you can know people by their fruit and know the love that pours through them. You can trust that there is more love and that you're worth it, or I wouldn't be making this video, because I'm not making it for subscribers or anything like that, or I'm not getting any money from any of my social media anywhere. I've had I won't say who signed up for my classes, but they were people that knew me in another context. So one person found me because I was commenting on someone else's stuff, and then she saw what I had to offer. But so anyway, just know that this is coming to you because you're worth the love. So the third way to free yourself is to learn how to trust on a deeper level. You're trusting more than just this programmed inner child and what your parents taught you your worth was. You're trusting that there is a higher knowing of your worth, and that you are worth that, and that you can have access to that. And I have over 500 videos where I'm teaching you that. So thank you for being here today. And I'll do my best to teach all of this in my videos after that, God willing that I'm alive and all that. I wish you so much love.